Welcome to Claverius Useful Phrases series. Visit our website for more interactive practice, private or group class with our business English trainers. Enjoy listening.
We need to review the property's title deed. We need to review the property's title deed. Please provide the latest survey report. Please provide the latest survey report. Is the property free from any encumbrances? Is the property free from any encumbrances? Let's verify there are no liens on the property. Let's verify there are no liens on the property. We should check for any outstanding mortgages. We should check for any outstanding mortgages. Do we need to obtain a title insurance policy? Do we need to obtain a title insurance policy? We'll need a clear title before proceeding. We'll need a clear title before proceeding. Are there any easements affecting the property? Are there any easements affecting the property? Let's examine the zoning regulations. Let's examine the zoning regulations. Is the property compliant with local zoning laws? Is the property compliant with local zoning laws? We need to confirm the property boundaries. We need to confirm the property boundaries. Please ensure all property taxes are up to date. Please ensure all property taxes are up to date. Are there any pending legal disputes? Are there any pending legal disputes? We should review the seller's disclosure statement. We should review the seller's disclosure statement. Is there an HOA with specific rules or dues? Is there an HOA with specific rules or dues? Do we have all necessary permits and licenses? Do we have all necessary permits and licenses? The property must pass inspection. The property must pass inspection. Let's schedule an environmental assessment. Let's schedule an environmental assessment. Are there any restrictions on land use? Are there any restrictions on land use? We need to understand the building codes. We need to understand the building codes. Do we require a flood zone certification? Do we require a flood zone certification? We'll need to review the purchase agreement. We'll need to review the purchase agreement. Please prepare the earnest money deposit. Please prepare the earnest money deposit. Let's discuss contingency clauses. Let's discuss contingency clauses. We should draft a lease agreement. We should draft a lease agreement.
Visit claverius.com for more interactive practice.
Is there a right of first refusal? Is there a right of first refusal? Do we need an attorney for this transaction? Do we need an attorney for this transaction? Let's negotiate the terms of the sale. Let's negotiate the terms of the sale. We need to understand the due diligence period. We need to understand the due diligence period. Please review the closing costs. Please review the closing costs. We should schedule a closing date. We should schedule a closing date. Let's ensure proper escrow arrangements. Let's ensure proper escrow arrangements. Are there any pending lawsuits against the property? Are there any pending lawsuits against the property? We need to verify the property's legal description. We need to verify the property's legal description. Please provide the chain of title. Please provide the chain of title. Let's confirm the seller's ownership. Let's confirm the seller's ownership. Are there any deed restrictions? Are there any deed restrictions? We need to check the property's marketability. We need to check the property's marketability. Let's ensure compliance with environmental laws. Let's ensure compliance with environmental laws. Is there a clear path to obtaining financing? Is there a clear path to obtaining financing? We should review the appraisal report. We should review the appraisal report. Please confirm the property's assessed value. Please confirm the property's assessed value. Are there any special assessments? Are there any special assessments? We need to understand the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. We need to understand the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Let's confirm the property's utility connections. Let's confirm the property's utility connections. Are there any historical preservation requirements? Are there any historical preservation requirements? Please review the property management agreement. Please review the property management agreement. Are there any tenant leases in place? Are there any tenant leases in place? We need to understand the rent control laws. We need to understand the rent control laws. Let's discuss the landlord-tenant laws. Let's discuss the landlord-tenant laws.
Visit claverius.com for more interactive practice.
Are there any eviction proceedings? Are there any eviction proceedings? We need to verify the property's insurance coverage. We need to verify the property's insurance coverage. Please review the home warranty options. Please review the home warranty options. Are there any pending property tax reassessments? Are there any pending property tax reassessments? Let's ensure compliance with fair housing laws. Let's ensure compliance with fair housing laws. We need to understand the anti-discrimination laws. We need to understand the anti-discrimination laws. Are there any restrictions on short-term rentals? Are there any restrictions on short-term rentals? Let's review the property disclosure requirements. Let's review the property disclosure requirements. Please confirm the property's flood insurance requirements. Please confirm the property's flood insurance requirements. We need to check for any hazardous materials. We need to check for any hazardous materials. Are there any lead paint disclosures? Are there any lead paint disclosures? Let's ensure compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Let's ensure compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. We need to confirm the property's septic system status. We need to confirm the property's septic system status. Are there any water rights associated with the property? Are there any water rights associated with the property? Please review the mineral rights. Please review the mineral rights. We need to understand the air rights. We need to understand the air rights. Are there any solar panel agreements? Are there any solar panel agreements? Let's verify any shared driveway agreements. Let's verify any shared driveway agreements. We need to understand the property's noise ordinances. We need to understand the property's noise ordinances. Are there any nuisance complaints? Are there any nuisance complaints? Please review the seller's property disclosure form. Please review the seller's property disclosure form. We need to confirm the property's boundary lines. We need to confirm the property's boundary lines. Are there any encroachments? Are there any encroachments? Let's ensure compliance with health and safety regulations. Let's ensure compliance with health and safety regulations. We need to confirm the property's fire safety compliance. We need to confirm the property's fire safety compliance.
Visit claverius.com for more interactive practice.
Are there any soil stability issues? Are there any soil stability issues? Please review the geotechnical report. Please review the geotechnical report. We need to understand the coastal zone management requirements. We need to understand the coastal zone management requirements. Are there any wetlands on the property? Are there any wetlands on the property? Let's verify the property's access rights. Let's verify the property's access rights. We need to confirm the property's road maintenance agreements. We need to confirm the property's road maintenance agreements. Are there any public access easements? Are there any public access easements? Please review the seller's affidavit. Please review the seller's affidavit. We need to understand the subdivision regulations. We need to understand the subdivision regulations. Are there any land use planning requirements? Are there any land use planning requirements? Let's confirm the property's setback requirements. Let's confirm the property's setback requirements. We need to understand the property's lot coverage limits. We need to understand the property's lot coverage limits. Are there any height restrictions? Are there any height restrictions? Please review the property's landscaping requirements. Please review the property's landscaping requirements. We need to confirm the property's drainage easements. We need to confirm the property's drainage easements. Are there any stormwater management requirements? Are there any stormwater management requirements? Let's verify the property's erosion control measures. Let's verify the property's erosion control measures. We need to understand the soil and water conservation policies. We need to understand the soil and water conservation policies. Are there any agricultural use restrictions? Are there any agricultural use restrictions? Please review the timber rights. Please review the timber rights. We need to confirm the property's wildlife habitat protection. We need to confirm the property's wildlife habitat protection. Are there any endangered species on the property? Are there any endangered species on the property? Let's ensure compliance with the Clean Water Act. Let's ensure compliance with the Clean Water Act. We need to understand the Clean Air Act requirements. We need to understand the Clean Air Act requirements. Are there any brownfield issues? Are there any brownfield issues?
Visit claverius.com for more interactive practice.
Please review the property's underground storage tanks. Please review the property's underground storage tanks. We need to confirm the radon levels. We need to confirm the radon levels. Are there any asbestos concerns? Are there any asbestos concerns? Let's verify the lead-based paint disclosures. Let's verify the lead-based paint disclosures. We need to understand the property's mold issues. We need to understand the property's mold issues. Are there any pest infestations? Are there any pest infestations? Please review the termite inspection report. Please review the termite inspection report. We need to confirm the property's well water quality. We need to confirm the property's well water quality. Are there any septic tank issues? Are there any septic tank issues? Let's ensure compliance with the Safe Drinking Water Act. Let's ensure compliance with the Safe Drinking Water Act. We need to understand the property's waste disposal requirements. We need to understand the property's waste disposal requirements. Are there any recycling requirements? Are there any recycling requirements? Please review the property's solid waste management plan. Please review the property's solid waste management plan. We need to confirm the property's energy efficiency standards. We need to confirm the property's energy efficiency standards. Are there any renewable energy incentives? Are there any renewable energy incentives? Let's verify the property's utility easements. Let's verify the property's utility easements. We need to understand the telecommunications infrastructure. We need to understand the telecommunications infrastructure. Are there any broadband access issues? Are there any broadband access issues? Please review the property's cable and satellite agreements. Please review the property's cable and satellite agreements. We need to confirm the property's emergency services access. We need to confirm the property's emergency services access. Are there any school district zoning requirements? Are there any school district zoning requirements? Let's ensure compliance with the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Let's ensure compliance with the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. We need to understand the impact of the property on local schools. We need to understand the impact of the property on local schools. Are there any historical landmark designations? Are there any historical landmark designations? Please review the property's cultural resource protection. Please review the property's cultural resource protection.
Visit claverius.com for more interactive practice.
We need to confirm the property's archaeological site status. We need to confirm the property's archaeological site status. Are there any Native American heritage considerations? Are there any Native American heritage considerations? Let's verify the property's religious institution zoning. Let's verify the property's religious institution zoning. We need to understand the property's cemetery regulations. We need to understand the property's cemetery regulations. Are there any burial site protections? Are there any burial site protections? Please review the property's memorial easements. Please review the property's memorial easements. We need to confirm the property's monument preservation. We need to confirm the property's monument preservation. Are there any industrial use restrictions? Are there any industrial use restrictions? Let's ensure compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration regulations. Let's ensure compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration regulations. We need to understand the property's manufacturing zoning. We need to understand the property's manufacturing zoning. Are there any transportation infrastructure requirements? Are there any transportation infrastructure requirements? Please review the property's logistics and distribution agreements. Please review the property's logistics and distribution agreements. We need to confirm the property's rail access. We need to confirm the property's rail access. Are there any airport zoning regulations? Are there any airport zoning regulations? Let's verify the property's maritime access. Let's verify the property's maritime access. We need to understand the property's aviation easements. We need to understand the property's aviation easements. Are there any spaceport considerations? Are there any spaceport considerations? Please review the property's space usage agreements. Please review the property's space usage agreements. We need to confirm the property's aerospace zoning. We need to confirm the property's aerospace zoning. Are there any military base proximity issues? Are there any military base proximity issues? Let's ensure compliance with the Department of Defense regulations. Let's ensure compliance with the Department of Defense regulations. We need to understand the property's defense contractor agreements. We need to understand the property's defense contractor agreements. Are there any national security considerations? Are there any national security considerations? Please review the property's international trade zone status. Please review the property's international trade zone status. We need to confirm the property's foreign investment regulations. We need to confirm the property's foreign investment regulations.
Thank you for listening Claverius Business English series. Visit our website for more interactive practice, private or group live session with our business English trainers.